Hey everyone, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever, wherever you are listening to us. This is More Than Just Task Management, your favorite daily productivity show. My name is Anna Angelova. I am a co host of this podcast and a business coach and consultant specializing in productivity and personal development. And as always, I have Joris Minusvand here with me. And today we are focusing on one of our favorite topics, actually, a game changing habit that can transform the way you run your business. And it's the 80-20 habit. Morning, Joris.
Good morning, Anna. Good morning, everyone. Good to see you all. Great to be here. That's right. If you ever feel like you're working so hard day in and day out and you see no results, this episode is for you. We're going to break down the 80-20 principle and show you how to apply it and make sure that you get the maximum result of your day with the lowest amount of effort.
That's right. And lowest amount of effort, right? It's again like this topic, this idea that yes, working like putting in the effort and putting in the work matters. Like working hard is part of why and how we succeed, but it's also working smarter. Like
Mm,
how we can actually achieve more by doing less. So
mm,
if you haven't grabbed your coffee yet, I finished mine just a couple of minutes ago. Grab a
mhm.
coffee, whatever it is, take a break and like really, really listen to what we are sharing in the next 10 to 15 minutes.
All right. So let's start with the basics. What is 80-20 rule? 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, starts with states that 80% of your results comes from 20% of your efforts. And this applies to business, productivity, daily life, everything, exercise, everything.
Yeah, and I know a lot of our listeners like they would have probably heard about it and might have even read the book on the 80-20 rule and like that what it means like for you is that 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your customers or of your products, right? So,
Mhm.
and yeah, like the numbers might not be like precise 80-20, but it's in that area, like it's in that neighborhood. And then also you will notice that 80% of your problems, 80% of your escalations and issues come from 20% of inefficiencies, 20% of your customers are the ones that complain, and they're probably the ones that are not into the profitable ones, like the most profitable ones, right? So um, you can see it like sort of like you said, like you can see it both in life and in business. And this is something that uh, if I remember the story correctly, there was something about even the youth of like I think Greenpeace, how 80% of the yield came from 20% of the plants. And the thing is that, again, when we talk about business, it should make you so happy and liberate you. Like the fact that 80% of your growth comes from 20% of your strategies, 80% of your revenue comes from 20% of your products, 20% of your customers. And once you see it, it's really hard to unsee it.
Absolutely. And here's the thing. Most of us spend too much time on the wrong 80%. And we get caught into these daily distractions, busy work tasks, like Anna, you mentioned, doing things that actually don't move the needle. And we're here today to help you uh, build this beautiful 80-20 habit that makes sure that you focus on the 20%, all your effort on the 20% that brings the 80% result.
And actually, the application is the part, because if you think about it, like the application is the part that we struggle with. That's why we work with coaches. That's why we
Mhm.
have masterminds and accountability partners and teams. And like, how do you apply it, right?
Yeah, well,
And
there are two parts. One is to how to apply it, but the other one is to how do you identify the impactful 20%, right?
yeah,
That's
yeah,
not easy
exactly,
either, right?
exactly. So
Yeah.
uh, the thing is that in this case, numbers help, right? In this case, and we both come from a data background, so numbers help. And we are talking about, especially with business, it's easier to talk about some of these topics because in business we do track a lot of things. And as a business owner, you should be able to quickly find out what are your revenue stream, right? What are the products, if you have multiple products or services, what are the ones that actually bring the highest revenue? What are the ones that create the most opportunities? You should be able to identify this quickly. And then you should be able to identify which ones of them bring the highest return as well, right? Because if you think about it, revenue itself, revenue itself might not be the best indicator because if you have a very high cost associated with the revenue and you don't have any profit out of it, right? Your EBIT and is non-existent or it's very low. That's why. So one aspect to look at is, yes, what generates the most revenue and the most opportunities, but then also look at the products, the services, the clients that also generate the highest return, right? The ones that it's not just the revenue, but also they don't complain, they don't waste your time with support and things like this, right? So look at both of these things, and
absolutely.
As part of this exercise, you can also look at other activities, especially the ones that you do as the business owner, that it might feel productive, but they don't really, these things don't really move the needle. They don't really move the business forward.
Yeah, perfect segue, Anna. Here's an example. Say you're a coach or a consultant, and you spend hours and hours building your website and design a perfect Instagram post. But if 80% of your clients come from referrals and direct outreach, then that's your high impact 20%. Instead of spending time on content, spend time on outreach, on building relationships, right? So you need to focus. Yes, presence is good. Having a good website and properly worded website is good. But if that's not you're moving the needle for you, then focus where it does. Go out and go do networking, build relationships, right? Ask for referrals from your group network. So.
Yeah, and it's the same thing applies to commerce as well. As I was saying, products. If you're selling multiple products, you probably find that 80% of your revenue comes from, I don't know, the top 3 products you're selling, right? And what you can do, again, we try to, a lot of the time, we're taught that, let's try to improve the ones that are not working. If this is not selling, let's promote it so we can sell this. No, if you find out that, okay, 80% of your revenue comes from, let's say, 3 products, then promote these 3 products. The fact that people are buying these 3 products means something. Promote these ones. Whether it's recurring sales, to your existing customers, or promoting to a new segment of the market, whatever it is, you figure it out. But these are already products that are selling, they're working. So focus on these. Really double down your effort instead of marketing and trying to improve something that doesn't sell. Meet people where they are. They're buying these things already. Offer more of it.
Yeah. I think it's one of the books that I listened to on Blinkist. It mentioned this. Then when and I hate a lot of things are incorrectly being attributed to Steve Jobs. But when Steve Jobs came back for the second time to Apple, they had over, I think, 2,600 products, and he caught all of them. I remember now. It was the power of saying no, which he cut those from 2,600 products to less than 100 double-digit products. And that was the success. Focus on what makes money. Just having product after product, flooding the market with Apple product, it's not the way to do it, right?
Because it stretches your resources. When you think about it, it stretches your resources thin, where you need to support multiple products, multiple services that don't really, even if they generate something, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And focus is like so key in business. And it's hard because as business owners, like we do see opportunity here, opportunity there, squirrels, like it's natural. But the best of the best show us that saying no, it's actually key part of the 80-20. You're right. I love that you brought this up, that saying no to the 80% is hard because our mind is thinking, wow, no, I don't want to let go of this. What if suddenly people start buying this, right? What if suddenly this starts working? Well, if it's not working so far, anyway. I just wanted to quickly talk about some of the things, like so how do you implement this, right? Like how do you make this a habit? Like because doing this one time, it's okay, you do it today, but then 1 year from now you'll probably be in the same situation where you have like your team is stretched too thin or you're stretched too thin and focusing on the things that don't move the needle. So making this into a habit is what will actually bring the results. And even every single day, as you start every day, and yesterday we talked about the importance of starting your day intentionally. What's the one thing? Like, ask yourself, what's the one thing that if I do today, that's it, like it will create the biggest impact, the thing that will make things easier. Start with this one question. And when it comes to the 80% noise or waste, like either eliminate it or delegate it. So if it's necessary, find someone else to do this. But if it's a nice to have or something that's just, doing it because everyone else is doing it, whatever, like just get rid of it. Or for some things also you can automate, right? Like you can also automate things like emails, some of these things, like you can create those sequences and automate some of these things. And to help you with the actual doing the work, right? Because, okay, let's say you identify this is the most important thing. Every single day you identify this is the 20% of that. If I do it today, like it brings 80% of the results, right? So the thing is that for you to sit down and actually do it, one helpful approach is to batch the work, right? Actually block a 2-hour period, let's say, in your calendar where you sit down and do this thing, like really focus on this one specific activity, strategy, whatever it is. And I know we talked about the weekly review a few episodes ago, probably like 10 days ago or something like this. Reviewing, like really reviewing once a week, like taking a look and seeing, okay, what's working, what's not working. We talked about it, and these things are all connected, right? Like the 80-20, and now that you know about the 80-20, or are reminded again of this, implement it in the weekly review. See what are actually those 20% of activities that bring the revenue. What are the 20% of customers that complain the most? We should probably fire them, and these are scary things, but if you want really to build a successful and thriving business, it's part of the game.
Yeah. And most importantly is and we talked about this as well, to track your progress, right? Always track your progress every day. Write down what was my most impactful task today, and you'll start seeing the pattern where over time, when you focus on the important tasks that move the needle, you start achieving your goals faster.
Absolutely. You start achieving goals faster, and the thing is that it's hard. Like if it was easy, we would all be doing this, because when you also think about if you put everything you're doing down, right, all the things, especially if you're a solopreneur, right, you do marketing, you do sales, you do the delivery itself. And I know, Joris, you talked about the example with coaches and consultants. As a coach, coaching is the thing that we love. And while it's a really important part of the process, it's also, yes, coaching, like when you deliver impactful coaching, you create happy clients who can refer you, and it's part of the process. But in any business, sales is what brings the revenue. Sales is the lifeline, the blood flowing in your business. So, and I know that a lot of people out there hate sales.
Mhm.
The truth is that we need to do the hard work. If we identify that this is it, this is the 20% that moves the needle, and that I'm actually the one who needs to do it, right? I could then, okay, suck it up and do it. If you really want this business, you do it. You get better at it, you learn about it, you practice, do whatever it takes to do it. And then at some point, this is the best thing about the business owner, by the way, that as your business grows, at some point, this, what you don't like the sales, let's say, you can delegate this and focus on the strategy, right? Like as the business, ultimately at some point as a business owner, you don't want to be involved in some of these day-to-day activities, operational, sales, marketing. Like you at some point, if this is the type of business you want to build, like you can just focus on strategic planning, just the leadership things, and don't get involved in sales. But in the beginning, you need to do the hard work.
Yeah, and I've tested this and it works for me. And if, for example, you talked about sales, most of us hate sales. And if you realize that sales is the 20% most impactful part of your day, get it done and make a habit of getting it done first thing in the morning before your brain gets tired and it starts doing making excuses. I find that if I
find the
do
same
my
thing as
most
well.
if you do your most hated work in the morning, it will get, then in the afternoon, you're, on a smooth breeze, right?
Yeah, I find the same thing as well. Like I find that in the morning, I have more energy to do the outreach, to connect with people. And then in the afternoon, it's like I hit a wall. I feel like the resistance. So I love this. Yeah, do it first thing in the morning. Eat that frog.
Yep. Yep. All right. We usually get so passionate that we go over the 15 minutes. So we're already at 20 minutes. So
yeah, I know.
Let's wrap it up. I know everyone has to get back to their work.
Yeah, and to wrap it up, actually, again, a challenge. Like if you just listen to this podcast, to these episodes, and don't do anything, yes, some things will remain in the back of your mind, and you might be changing things slowly. But if you really want to see results fast, like, do the work. And I would say for today, identify one high impact activity, the one that moves your needle, and then identify one low impact task that you can either delegate, automate, or completely eliminate. And today, take action on both. Work on the impact activity, the high impact activity, the one that moves the needle, the one that brings the revenue, and then do the action for the other one. Either eliminate it, completely say, okay, stop, I'm not doing this anymore, delegate it, or automate it.
Absolutely. I love it. And I think we said this yesterday as well. And this is so important to remember. Small, consistent actions over time lead to massive results. And that's the power of 80-20 habit. Make a habit, take small steps every day, but take the steps that make a difference. And over time, you'll see results. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Over
what's
time,
our
you'll
call
see
to
results.
action, Anna?
Yeah. Yeah, when you focus on what truly matters, you'll see the results in no time. And as usual, if you enjoyed this episode, subscribe. Come watch us live on YouTube, Plandore. So the channel is Plandore, 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 and also plandore.com is our home website, home base, where you can also connect with us. And yeah, we'd love to hear from you as well. So leave a comment, DM us, whatever you prefer. And we'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning for another awesome topic related to habits and routines that help you build a thriving and successful business.
And at Plador.com, we have tools that will help you focus and on what actually makes a difference and moves the needle.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, make sure to visit us. And thank you for tuning in. Remember, focus on what truly matters. We'll see you in the next episode. Meanwhile, stay warm and remember the 80-20 habit.
Yeah, perfect. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
See you tomorrow.